Yo, what's up guys? Canadian Gem here, and in this video, going off of the theme of my last video, which was a 2022 gaming setup, I want this video to be all about Xbox Series X life hacks. So let's not waste any time guys, let's get right into the video. Let's go. Alright, life hack number one guys is, I just recently figured this out, but even though all advertisements show the Series X standing up vertically, I've noticed that when it would stand up vertically, sometimes it would randomly shut off, and I determined that was because it was overheating. Ever since I placed it like this horizontally, it has not overheated or shut down once. The reason is, guys, because if you check out the back here, all these here are filter holes for the vents. So it takes in air from the back and from the back end over here. Sorry, it's hard to get an angle, guys. Over there. So when you have it vertically, guys, all of these holes at the back here are getting blocked up. And look at all that dust, guys. Look at that. Right? So when you have it horizontally, it's basically going to be bringing in all the cool air from the back here, and the vent at the top here is going to be exhaling all of that. So all the hot air is just going to go whoom right out of here. So horizontally is a lot better because it's much easier to bring it from the back and push it right out, as comparing to having it like stand up, right? And then the air has to go from the bottom and from the side and then push its way all the way up and out of the system. I've just found that this works the best, guys. It's up to you to do this, but this is the first life hack for you guys. Is if you do have your Series X or even any other console that is overheating, trust me when I say horizontally helps, but also, of course, you can't be putting like a stack of games like that right in front of the vent. You always gotta leave adequate space for the games, or for the vents, guys. So I always like to make sure that the games are way over here, so the hot air can literally go out all directions here. It's not like I'm suffocating it there. Alright guys, life hack number two. Believe it or not, no matter how many times us gamers say this, guys, some people still to this day can't figure out that the main reason why most people are lagging is because they don't have a cable like this, guys. I would say this life hack is more have a house to themselves, or are more lenient, or have more whatchamacallit, have more breathing room of where they can have their setup. Put your setup closest to your router, right? The room is right over there and my router is right here. So it's very close to the point where I can just run an Ethernet. So this life hack's a pretty simple one, guys. Plug your damn consoles in, run your wire. Look at that. I have to organize this wire, I know, but run it all the way through there, guys. Right to the Xbox. I guarantee you most of your lagging that you're having, the root of its cause is because you're either too far away from the router if you're playing on Wi-Fi, or you just have a very poor connection and you need an Ethernet cable, guys. I know, very straightforward. Most of y'all probably know this one, but for those who don't, you gotta plug in your console, guys. Let's get into number. Alright guys, for life hack number two, we're going to have to actually go on to the Xbox itself. And let me just show you guys the rundown of the steps. So you're going to want to go to My Games and Apps. You gotta want to go to Apps. Scroll down. Go to Xbox Accessories. And for this, guys, if you click these three dots here, you can go to this controller signs in. And you can put instant signs in your account. So this controller is linked to my profile, as you can see. When you do this, guys, it makes it so when you shut off your Xbox, right, which this Xbox boots up so fast, I'll show you guys, that doesn't even matter that I'm shutting it off. No cuts here. So let me just power it back on again. It will skip right through the sign-in screen, so you guys can just go right to where you want to be. Very fast, very efficient, and I always like to use it so that whenever I'm on, nobody else is touching my controller. You know, this is my controller. I don't want other people's greasy hands on it, you know. But thankfully for me, most of my siblings don't really game, so I kind of just got my own gaming setup here anyways, guys. But for those of you who don't, that's a really good life hack. And the next life hack is also going to be in the menu configurations here. You guys, if you didn't know, can actually make a profile, and you can name it whatever you want. I'm not gonna really go into making one right now, but if you guys really wanted to, you can do stuff like swapping the sticks, which I wouldn't recommend doing, swapping those sticks, to be honest. But if you really do like doing this, I know some people like doing this, you can swap the triggers, where if there's games that won't let you do it, which almost every game does nowadays, but it'll basically just let you flip these two triggers. And it's very sweet. It kind of makes it almost like it feels like you have like a elite controller, even though you don't, because it lets you pretty much just button map everything. So then you can select your profile there, guys, and get to use those button mappings. Of course, for me, I usually just use default. Alright guys, the other life hack is going to be for those of you who might have this headset right here, which is the Xbox wireless headset. A lot of people complain that out of the box this headset does not have the best sounds. So if you guys go over here to configure, the first thing I would recommend doing is this adjusts the brightness of your mic's light. That doesn't really matter. Mic monitoring, I put to medium. This right here, guys, I know auto mute in theory sounds very awesome and cool, right? But I can tell you in actuality, it doesn't actually help you out that much. Like if you go like, if you're like sniffing or something, or just doing, you know, something you don't necessarily want everyone in the party to hear, it kind of does a good job of muting that. But what I've noticed is that it also just mutes you randomly sometimes, which hence the name auto mute. So you can be talking and it sounds like you're cutting out in and out during a party, guys. So I would recommend just shutting it off, but there is a low, medium, and high setting. If I was you guys and I really wanted to just use the feature, because you know it's a new feature and you're like, man, I got a new headset, I want to try it out, I would just put it to low. But even with low, I found that I would say something and I would be like, guys, did you hear that? And they'd be like, what did you say? Because it cuts out like the first few words that I say. So you have to literally be always talking, otherwise it'll just mute your mic, and then you can start talking, and if you say like, I don't know, the blah blah blah, it'll cut out the. But anyways, guys, the other part that you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to go to equalizer, and I would recommend you guys take a screenshot of these settings right here. I found these settings to be very useful and very good. Of course, you can do it in the Dolby Atmos app as well for the professionals, but I prefer to do it in the Xbox equalizer here. You can put bass boost on. You can boost it as much as you want. I've noticed bass boost, all it really does is it emphasizes footsteps and gunshots. So if you really, really want to be hearing those footsteps, I would put bass boost up to around 3, but anything more than 3 will kind of blow out your sound and you're just going to be deafening. So like bullets and all that will sound a lot louder than everything else, and it just kind of messes up. So in my opinion, I would leave that off, but of course each to their own. Everyone has their own preferences as to how they want their setup. So it's your guys' setup, make it yours, but I would recommend at least following these settings right here if you have the Xbox wireless headset. Alright guys, for this next life hack, it's pretty simple, but if you guys want to have a free month of Game Pass pretty much, or Game Pass for literally $1, add or switch an account, guys. Make a new account. Go to the Microsoft Store. You can go to Game Pass here. And it's gonna say $11.99, but what you guys are gonna want to do is go over here to Game Pass Ultimate, and as you can see, it is for $1 this month. Check that out, guys. So this is a very awesome life hack to do. I recommend all you guys do this, because I've been paying like $15 a month around that for this Game Pass Ultimate, where you can just literally make a new account, guys, and just pay $1, and this will last you around a month of time, guys. And you won't lose any of the games that you have on the other one, as long as on your other accounts, as long as you make this account your home Xbox. So this is a very good life hack that I suggest you guys all do, because you get access to so many AAA games and indie games for the cheap price of $1. Alright guys, this next life hack is mainly for you LG CX users and just anybody with a high quality TV like a Samsung QLED. What you guys are want to do is go into your settings here and see if your TV is getting all the checks. If it is showing yellow or red, if it's red, your TV does not support it. If it's yellow, your TV does support it, but there's some issue somewhere. What I would recommend doing in these settings, guys, is first off, putting refresh rate to the maximum your TV can handle, which is 120 Hertz in most cases. Now I would recommend putting the resolution as high as it can handle with 120 FPS. Those are my recommended settings for FPS shooters and games that use 120 Hertz. For single player games, I would recommend always hitting max resolution that your TV can at 60 Hertz. Also, guys, I would recommend going to video modes, disable auto HDR, enable Dolby Vision for gaming when you can. It's on a game-by-game basis. And always enable variable refresh rate if your guys' TV supports it. This is a very useful life hack, guys. Most TVs, if you didn't know, you have to actually go into game mode. So this life hack's kind of like a 5-in-1. Enable 120 Hertz, guys. Put your TV in game mode. Set color temperature to warm 2 or warm 50. And just enable all the bells and whistles your TV can handle. The only time that I recommend disabling variable refresh rate is when you're playing 30 FPS games, because I've noticed VRR makes them look a little juddery. Now, I don't want to take up all your guys' time with this video, so for these final two, I'm going to make it a nice 2-in-1 again. So, what you guys are going to want to do is go to video fidelity overscan, and you're always going to want to push as much color as your TV can. In my case, my panel, which is the LG CX, does not support 12-bit color, so I put it to the max color of 10-bit. I would recommend you guys search up on your phone or on Google, anywhere, how much your TV can handle and set it to the maximum or set it to accordingly. If it's 8-bit, 10-bit, set it to that. Color space. If you're on, this is one's very simple. If you're on a PC monitor, do RGB. If you're on a TV, just leave it on standard. Overrides, never touch that. It really can fry your stuff. Don't touch override ever. And finally, the second one that I was going to show, which is the 2-in-1, is you guys are going to want to calibrate your TV. So you're going to want to make sure that your TV is doing full screen. It's matching the brightness and it's matching the contrast. And for this, you're going to need your TV remote on hand just to make sure that all of this is lining up correctly. What you guys are also going to want to do is go again into TV, video, and set display options. Calibrate HDR for games. If your TV supports HGIG, I would recommend enabling it now. And on top of this, guys, if your TV is OLED, you're going to want to click this all the way to the maximum you can get to make sure it's pure black. Now, if your TV is not OLED, guys, what I would recommend doing is I can't really show this on camera, but just do it until those black dots are pretty much in sync with each other. Now, for OLED users again, I would recommend clicking this 5 to 10 times. But if you're on another display, then do it accordingly with what your TV supports. Now, when you guys are done this, you should notice that the calibrated image looks a lot better than uncalibrated image. As you can see here, the lights up in that top left corner are way more blown out in the uncalibrated image compared to the calibrated image, where you can pretty much fully see the sun and all the details in the picture, guys, as you can see there, compared to this. For some of you, that's not a deal breaker. For me, I like to get the most optimized image. And that's going to conclude this video, guys. Other than that, the only other setting I can really recommend, guys, is going to advanced settings. Make sure your DNS is set to 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.8.4.4. If you're located in the US or Canada. If you're in the UK or other places, put 1.1.1.1 as the primary and 1.1.0.0 as secondary. So, that's going to conclude today's video, guys. If you enjoyed, drop a like and hit the subscribe button. Comment down below if you guys want to see more videos like this. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Also, guys, I just wanted to add in one more quick thing at the end of the video. Let me know, guys, if you want more Xbox/gaming type of videos, or if you want more challenge videos, such as the one where I went vegan for 24 hours. I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to do more challenge videos, which I have some in mind that my friends are down to do. Let me know, guys. Peace out.